So the other day, I went down to the film store to look at some films, and I saw that they had a couple of new ones that I've never seen before, so I bought both of them, only realizing they were the most expensive ones when they rung it up. Now I own a roll of Wolfen NC500 and NC400. I went to look up what the pictures might look like. So I look up Wolfen NC500. It's a movie picture film, that they just released. And I figured the NC400 was nothing special. Figured it was regular edition. Turns out NC400 barely exists. So I couldn't find any example pictures really that were confidence inspiring or any actual people using it and really knowing what it was, which is why I'm making this. So I'm a little too cheap to send my film to the lab. I'd rather spend hundreds of dollars on developing equipment, hours on figuring out how to develop, fuck up a couple of rolls irreparably. So this whole roll is developed on Flick C41 kit. Something interesting to note when I was developing this film, one, they're reusable canisters. They suck and I hate them. It's spooled up in a plastic film canister. And that kind of threw me for a loop because I only really know how to open the steel metal cans. And this one was kind of a pain to open because if you're developing at home, you have to do it in the dark, so you can't really see what's going on, and you have to kind of premeditate how the thing comes apart. I ended up breaking the canister, and I got the film out. Now they claim it's for environmental reasons, plastic, it's recyclable. I'm actually not sure if they use recycled plastic to make them, but steel is way more recyclable than plastic is, so I think the plastic containers are worse for the environment and just cheaper for them and therefore make them more money. But once this is out of the chemicals, I noticed something. On the film itself, there's no markings at all on the sides of the film where there's usually Fuji 400, Kodak, Portra, whatever on the rails of the film. And there's nothing. It's completely blank, and the film base is like a different color. It's like a more blue-gray color than the Fuji and Kodak on the orange kind of stuff. So that was interesting and further led to the mysteriousness of the film. All right, let's take a look at these pictures. First things first, I love how this film looks. As soon as I got it on the scanner, I was stoked about it. This is taken on a 50mm f1.4 Canon lens. Now the light here is just so gorgeous. It's just the perfect lighting conditions for a nice, gorgeous sunset on a bridge with the water flowing. Now, right now it's late winter, so everything's kind of starting to melt. The river is flowing a little bit heavier than it normally is. There is a decent amount of grain on here. It feels to me like an 800 ISO kind of grain, that size to it, but I don't think it negatively impacts what's going on here. All of this is just right out of the scanner, no profile even on the scanner. So here you can see there's a lot of contrast here between the dark colors and the light colors. Even in the dark corners of the rocks, you can see that there's still a lot of detail there. Not that you can really bring it up. You can't really lift the shadows that much in any film anyway. So these pictures are at the yellowest sunset I've maybe ever seen. And looking at these pictures, it doesn't look that yellow-orange. There's a little bit in there, and it looks really nice, but that just will go to show you how cool, temperature-wise, this film is. So here's a shot of a building. I'm not really sure. This is an old mill city, so there's a lot of old mill buildings just floating around that I don't really know exactly what they are. But here you can really see the brightness and kind of the detail that comes off on the wood, and the detail that you're still getting in the dark on the waterfall. The blues and yellows are very separate here, and I like that. Now this next one is a little bit brighter in general. We're shooting, this is on the 300mm lens now. These pictures are really reminding me of camp, and what I mean by camp for me personally is like a 70s, 80s coloring and the kind of pictures somebody who bought really nice equipment with in those times would hang up in their camp and leave there forever. So this is if a bunch of pigeons wanted to make an album. This is a good one where you can see the contrast between the dark bricks and the light interweaving of it and all the different color bricks, and just even contrasted to the whiteness of the sky there, and the darkness of the birds and the snow underneath the birds, and you can see a little bit of the detail, more than I would expect in the birds themselves, which is really neat. Here's some more birds on the roof, and this is another one where you can really, the contrast is just so nice here. And in this one you can really see what I mean by cool. This is a nice one. You can kind of tell, I guess, how sharp the film is. You can see the grain in the sky quite a bit, but you can also, the texture in the brick really comes out, so there's a lot of detail, even though it seems a little grainy. This one seems like it'd be a nice vaporwave t-shirt. We got a lot of the contrast there between I'm gonna say contrast 100 billion times, but the blackish blue and the orange color going on here, I like that quite a bit. It does handle the blues really well. It handles the white is nice in here too. I don't know, fuck you. Here's some birds frozen in the air with their wings out, gliding around, flying around, having a good time. I'm having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. When I pulled this out of the developing tank, I was actually kind of wondering if it was a black and white film that I developed in Color Chemicals that came out. I think those exist. I think Ilford makes something like that, because just looking at the negative, it was hard to see the different colors, I suppose. And this is one that's just kind of all the same color, kind of monochromatic. Now, if you look at the ice, the word ice on the side of there, it is red in real life, and that shed is blue. The bricks are kind of a reddish color, and they are very much not in this picture. So it's snowing in these last couple of pictures, so it's a very overcast day, which does tend to cool down a lot of pictures anyway, but this is a Gulf gas station with a dunk, so you can kind of see in the sign. If you're from around where I'm around, you really know what those colors look like, and you can kind of tell. You can give that a comparison. So for interior shots, it's the same deal. Very blue, very cool, but they're gorgeous. They're moody. They have like a mood to them. This is another interior shot. This one is a bit better balanced color temperature wise. It's a darker scene with a bright window in it. You can tell there's still a lot of detail in those pictures. On the left there, here's a brightly painted red door with some blue accents on the sides. The blue looks so nice here. It really comes out. You can tell what it does to the red. It kind of browns it out, I suppose. This one doesn't have a whole lot of this picture doesn't have a whole lot of contrast in the color department as a whole, but you can really see a lot of the blacks and whites. There's a good contrast there. I like it. This is a picture of my friend Logan. Now this is a daylight lit shop. This is a dumpling place. So you see the light coming from outside on her face from the window, and that's kind of that blue-green tone to it, which if that's what you want, dang, son. This last one's a really good kind of maximum minimum light exposure you can get on it, because that snowbank blown out, inside of the car darkened out, and you can see all the in-betweens. It's a gray car. There's actually not a lot of color in this picture. Man, I'm telling you, this film it renders blue so well. It's weird how much I love it. If you want cool pictures, this film rules, because not only will it give you a cool look, like it looks cool, but it'll bring those temperatures boop boop way down. So if you're looking for a cool film, this is a very cool film, and I would absolutely recommend trying it if you can find it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it again, to be honest with you. That's what I always say. Fuck it, run it. What's it, 20 bucks? Whole lot of fun? 20 bucks is a lot, actually. It's a special occasions one, I think. All right, so that was a look at Wolfen NC400 film. I kind of just wanted to put this out there just because I personally haven't really seen much on this film, even example images, so I hope that this contributes to the pool of information on this, and I hope somebody finds it remotely useful. What I do have for next time is I have the other roll of NC500 that's in here now, so I will finish this roll. I am on picture 3. So I'll finish this roll, develop it, and then I'm gonna side by side them, because I know these films are very similar in name. I also have upcoming a set of Kodak that expired in 2007 that I would love to take a look at. Probably put a video up on the channel. I got this Canonette little camera, and it's really cute and it's interesting and it's so much different from the SLRs that I've been using since I learned how to shoot film. And I want to share that with you. So if you're interested in any of that, maybe subscribe and you'll see maybe some more videos. Alright, I will catch you later. Toodaloo. I'm gonna finish editing this video that you're watching right now. It's over here on the computer. Ooh, my feet smell fucking cheesy.